my first ever, like, I can say on some real UFO encounter was when I was riding the school bus. And I know that we all saw this, but it was just like, it was there and then it blipped. It just disappeared. It was like a weird ship that it was just wobbling, and we were like, what the fuck? And then we all went to school. We were just kids, like,
Welcome to the Almost Spicy podcast. Today, we're joined by Kenny.
What's good? What's up?
Local ufologist here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Actually, maybe you claim St. Paul.
I'm saying, hey, I'm just a Minnesota native here,
Maple Grove, maybe. Yeah. And today we're going to be talking about UAP, UFO, extraterrestrials, because we talked about it in the past, and Kenny reached out, was like, we got to get together and talk about this.
Yeah.
It's real, right?
Oh, man, this shit's real. It's like, let's just be real. I'll put that down right there.
Which we should just start off by saying you could get this at the library, your local library. This is the Hennepin County Library. What is it? It's the Illustrated History of UFOs.
That is correct. It looks like a children's book, but it's got some good stuff in it. I'm just showing that off. Will you continue?
Okay, for sure.
Whatever you.
So I guess I'll get started with this. My first ever, like, I can say on some real UFO encounter was when I was riding the school bus. And I know that we all saw this, but it was just like, it was there and then it blipped. It just disappeared. It was like a weird ship that it was just wobbling, and we were like, what the fuck? And then we all went to school. We were just kids, like,
How old were you when that?
I'll have to say at least like second grade. So
second grade.
So I'll say like, what was it, like 7?
Yeah.
Because I know it was towards the end of the year of that time, and it was spring. It was already spring out. So the trees were and everything. We were just sitting there. We were just like, what the hell? And we kind of just like kept. But you felt the pressure. You feel me? Like you feel like there's never no sound. It's just like pressure. At least that's how it went with me. Beyond that, like. There's been other occasions, like St. Paul or Minnesota in general, they'll be like, oh, there's ice crystals up there and shit. And even on my YouTube, I had a video of this thing morphing in the sky. You know what I mean? Like, it's still, and every now and then it shows up, like, it's just there. And maybe people see it, but it's like purple, red, blue, white. It just flashes all these colors and shit. And I feel like it goes off of like maybe like our whole all of our excuse me sorry, all of our chakra thing. You know what I mean? So
dude, so this is a video that you've encountered on YouTube yourself.
Oh yeah, I put. Or
you uploaded it.
Yeah, and I got like I got a friend that's in Argentina too as well. He records like the moon and shit, and he sees like all the objects and shit that are flying. Sometimes he can catch ships like really flying on the moon and shit.
You uploaded a video that your friend sent to you?
No, I uploaded a video that I recorded myself.
You recorded what you're talking about?
Yeah. Let's just.
So let's just get this straight right now for everybody listening. Kenny is claiming to have in your life you've seen at this point at least 2 different UFO UAP phenomenon encounters in your life. At this point, you disclosed to us.
Yeah, and I'm not shocked that other people see it in the state. Like, you gotta like look at and see like the obvious signs that we're around. Like we're by a lot of water. So
Yeah.
You know.
So can we talk about water for a second?
oh
Wait,
yeah,
so
sure.
so when you say we're by a lot of water, are you like suggesting that more UFOs gravitate towards water, or like there's a need to there's like a correlation between the two, or like what does that mean?
And maybe we should call them UAP. I don't know. Nobody cares.
Well, when we go on to the UAPs, you know that movie Nope, they did a good job of like
What a good movie. We loved it.
Then they did a good job of like, you know, explaining that it isn't just ships out there. There really is like, let's say, beings, entities. I don't know. You
Spoiler
say
alert,
animals
you
or
know,
whatever.
spoiler.
That's
Yeah.
up there, floating and flying around and shit. Like you know.
Can you say that again? You said not just ships, but also
Yeah, like
like if you've seen the movie, like yeah.
Yeah, it sounds crazy, but you know, it's like you know, there's organisms up there flying in space. I
That's
don't
a
know,
good
like
word
it
for
makes
it.
you know they say oh it's a vacuum and stuff like this, but you know it doesn't make any sense for us to like be existing and living here and not to have something up there like that's a little you know hard for us to believe that's living out there but feeding off of whatever the hell you know. Like we don't. It's like we have to be analytical, breaking down everything, you know, with it. But you know, the wrong things, dissecting and destroying and shit like that. It's not really how you want to do that. But anyway, back with the
Dude.
water thing. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'll get back.
Water,
with that.
yeah.
All right. So.
I have dry eyes.
Yeah,
I need eye drops.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That shit either gets you dry mouth or some dry eyes ready to sleep. And this, you know, this shit's fire. I don't
Shout
know.
out Minnesota.
Yeah.
Seltzer laws.
Smart.
We're not sponsored.
I'd love to be though, but
Yeah, we should be. We will be.
What is it? Lake Michigan, right next like Chicago, like that lake. That's a
Yeah.
good example of UFO
hot
phenomena. Or you know UFO. Yeah, it's a hot spot
Yeah.
because like that's the thing about like water and you know these crafts can go into the water and
That's the thing. You,
You know?
knew this, right?
So-
yeah.
That's why it's
Makes me-
unidentified, anonymous. No,
Yeah.
not anonymous.
Unidentifying unidentified
Anomalous.
aerial phenomena. I think
They
that's-
updated it from aerial. Now it's anonymal.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you know because I
But
mean
it's
I,
still UAP.
yeah, because I don't blame them. Shit, there's things up there that they don't want. They you know it's like this shit is a ship, but then it's fluid, like it's organic. So you know I don't blame
That's
them.
the thing. I was just hearing recently that they're proving now, science, that the universe is a living, breathing creature
Yeah,
in itself. And yeah, it always felt like we're always part of something bigger. Like a grain of sand is, you know, on the beach, and it's like we're in something, and something is in something. And like when you see the zoom out, like galaxies, solar systems, like
it's like we're on an infinite repeat, like the greater because everything's all is one.
everything in the past,
yeah,
everything
no.
in the future, and everything right now is all happening at the same time.
That's right, and we're all like, I know, and you know, there's some people who are like atheists or whatever, but I say this to anybody who's religious or not. You know, there's this force, this energy, this understanding of who you are, and maybe you know, you get like 5 minutes to yourself to really like see and see yourself. I know it sounds crazy, but like be able to understand who you are. Like shit, just 5 minutes can change a lot. And it'll lift a lot off your shoulders and shit. You're gonna be like, oh shit, I'm not the only one that's experiencing this. You know,
You're saying
It
5
might be
minutes
more-
of exposure to
yeah.
the, what do you call it? The phenomenon, or like
Yeah, you know,
paranormal.
Yeah, like empathetic. Like I got a homie, my homie Charlie, and he's one of the only, like I said, one of the few people I've walked out here. You know, they walk side by side with me, and we have experienced like an odd encounter where we were walking through the Skyway over there by Target Field area. You know, like all that shit because it was. I think it was. I don't know if it was Travis Scott concert or something, but I wasn't able to get in because I didn't have my fucking wallet. I had
The
no
fine
money.
line.
Yeah. Either way, but
Was it there?
Yeah, it was at the Target Center or whatever.
Oh shit. Okay.
But
that last one. Yeah.
yeah, but it was a couple years back. Either way, and we were walking through the Skyway, and we felt this negative pressure, like it was like a murderous intent or something like that. And the only times I felt like things like that, off of people, or things that they're people, but they're just not here. And I don't, it sounds crazy about that shit, but
we're talking spirits,
entities, and real people that just, they talk about extraterrestrials. This shit, we'll get into that. You know what I mean? Because that shit's crazy. But me and him felt that, and we stopped in our tracks, and it felt like the world like got silent. You know what I mean? Like we felt like we were being stalked and preyed on, and
terrifying.
we both looked at, because we were ready to fight whatever that was gonna hurt, like come at us. We watched this dude walk past us, just looked at us like we're crazy, and then we saw the dudes in the suits, because there's no Minneapolis walking by. And we both just looked at each other like, as long as we know that we felt that, we're both not crazy about this shit. But
what's kind of funny? We're kind of dressed like Men in Black, like, because the Men in Black, it's like not the movie, but it's actually real, right?
Oh well, yeah, those guys are real.
Have you ever seen
whatever you're dealing with to have those guys on your ass, and you got to make sure you're protected, because. Those are like people who know how to like phase out of reality on you, like that just like in the Matrix, like this shit's real. Motherfuckers will just break out a code or like just come out of nowhere and try to snatch you up because of something that you or who you are or what you're affiliate with. That's why they say it's against the law to talk to extraterrestrials.
There's I don't know if you heard that.
No.
Yeah, they're saying like, I don't know, some people are scared, like, that if you ever have an encounter with a UAP, that you'll be at risk, that you'll be jailed. Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I look at it like this, this planet, I had to say this like the right way, so you understand that. This planet's special.
Do you think this one's special?
Yeah, we're like out of like 22 or something like that, I believe, planets that have been made out here.
Okay.
It sounds crazy, but that's identical in certain ways, and our planet's a huge highway too. Ships come here and they travel. And they stop here, pit stop, and then keep going. So,
we have a lot of water here.
Yeah.
So going back to the water thing.
Well, yeah, because we have resources and stuff, but water isn't really mostly what they want. You know what I mean?
But don't you think because of the hydrogen, maybe like to some of these ships, like so I heard this theory just loosely, as any theory that I hear is I just hear it loosely, and it's like water is like basically the currency, like like, cash flow, like, like this kind of like relationship with water. Your body is, 70%, whatever, the earth is 70% or 66.
Wow.
And,
no, I feel it. In that aspect,
a bank. A beach bank, you know what I mean? Like,
I shoot for more of the guys that like prefer to have us keep our free will, but have things being plentiful, because just like I think Cat Williams made a joke about it. Water is the only thing that you can make. Water is the only thing that you just can't make it. You can't cook it, but water is always around. You feel me? So that's important.
That's
like
weird.
Well,
right?
Yeah, you can't make water. I mean,
there's something special about water, and I'd like to find out. So we took a trip to Ben's laptop, and no, I don't know if this thing says anything about water, but going back to the
for sure.
to the Men in Black, do you? And some people get uncomfortable when I talk about like species. So are the Men in Black human, or are they this kind of like humanoid, or more of a tall white? I see some of these tall whites. They call them the Nordics. Is it like I don't? That's just like. Is it hearsay? Like.
Oh, we're gonna talking about like other races.
Lizards.
Okay, I got you. Oh,
what's
okay.
really here? What's at the bottom of the ocean? Is it the same thing that can shoot up out of the ocean into the sky, right? And why is the government quiet about this? Why is NASA quiet about this? Why is there been a huge cover up over the past 200 years, 300 years, forever?
Shit, bro. Like after when they found shit in some tablets about Samaria and then, things had the same similar story of people coming here and they had an altercation and planets being fucked up and now they're responsible, which is like our watchers of our planet and shit. It's like, and then it goes into like the Bible, and all that shit. And you got to remember the Bible was a man-made thing. It wasn't something that the creator, the all energy one being or whatever that we all understand, we all mess with, made it. So, I'm not saying that they weren't influenced to write positive things, but shit, man, that book's fucked up. So you're gonna look at
crazy book.
Yeah, it's a crazy book.
And that's a whole other thing, religion and we understand the impact.
Yeah, it's dogma.
Yeah.
But let's go on to like let's talk about the Men in Black. I'm gonna be real with you, man. Like I don't. I'm not shocked if they're humanoid, but I'm not shocked that I don't know, man. Those are like the ones that you just don't really get close to because there's if they really are what they are, you think they're like psychic or like if you're just gonna say like lizard people, and if we're really talking about like the under earth, them or the everybody talks about reptilians and shit like that.
What about Antarctica?
Antarctica, that used to be. Like, funny story about Antarctica.
I'd love to hear it.
That, because at some point we had 88 billion people on this planet.
88 billion?
Yeah, and then, a disaster occurred. We got hit by a meteorite and shit like that.
Okay.
And, it's on the walls in Australia. Like, it's a cool story.
You heard this?
But it's like they even talked about the wave of water coming, like the people that were living there, and Australia's land got changed up because of the radioactivity that broke off from those asteroid meteorites or whatever the hell that hit us.
88 billion.
Yeah, 88 billion.
That's weird to think about. Can we get a fact check?
That comes from
Say it again.
We gotta go. First of all, no more Google. We're on DuckDuckGo, private browser.
Yeah, I got like the story. It's called like something on it's Journey to the Ninth Dimension. That's based off of that book. But it talks about like the watchers of our planet, and like I don't know, man. Like I had my personal experience with that and being told some shit like. And they're like, oh no, just be yourself, and be a talk or conduit in between too. But I'm not a speaker. I'm not somebody that speaks. I see shit, but I'm not really like. It sounds crazy when I explain some things, and like people who.
Well, yeah. What you're talking about right now, just to be clear, is you having a psychedelic experience.
Oh no, it's not even without the psychedelics.
Okay.
It's just
even without the psychedelics,
yeah,
you have had communication with entities, beings, the next dimension.
Yeah, man. It makes and you don't want people to think that you're what is the word schizophrenic.
Schizophrenic for sure. I was literally just yesterday saying like because I was talking about this with my partner and. I was like, I'm not schizophrenic. And then I saw 555 and I was like, it's true. I'm not schizophrenic, right?
I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
At this point, people putting labels on everything nowadays.
Yeah, definitely. My follow-up question is: do you think everybody has the capacity to tap in and communicate with the fourth dimension or the fifth dimension?
I was afraid to even say everybody, but people can have capabilities to experience like the different dimensions and stuff. But you know, if your mind isn't right, or like being exposed to a lot of truth at a time can like break a person. You feel me? That's why some people go through like bad trips. And then when they do those drugs and shit,
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean? Me, like, it's like my whole only reason why I've been able to like see or went through all this, because I died when I was little, and then I came back, and that shit that's a crazy story. I don't really I don't want to explain like what occurred with all that.
Yeah, with me before, but that's crazy though.
But it's like once when you cross over, and like literally I saw myself looking down at myself. I'm like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers talking with me and shit. Like at first I didn't understand that because I was young,
Yeah.
and after I went back to my body and I had the strength to break out the situation, it was just like, wow, that's crazy. Beyond that,
That's
yeah,
insane. And you were small.
I was like 5 when that happened.
Okay.
Wow.
And I was near Lake Michigan.
Jesus, and then so
crazy, man.
2 years later, you see something.
Yeah.
You see you see a UFO outside of your bus.
Yeah.
School bus.
Yeah. When all of us were riding.
So does everybody.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of those cases, like in South America, there's a big landing that happened where a whole school witnessed, and the children are able to draw the pictures of the 3-foot beings that talk to them about peace, I believe. It was like 200 kids or something.
Yeah, like there was this thing with because let's be real, like if because it's fucked up, because right now our plan is, all right, I'll be real, I guess give me like at least like 2 minutes.
Okay.
Look,
I'm just looking into all these entities. Look.
But I have to say this because the shit's real.
Yeah.
Right now our planet's under siege.
Okay.
And I would love to see more people to be aware of what's going on, because this has to deal with the fact of like our self and what we allow to come to us, because they're using this crazy trick language and shit like that to make you give up your free will towards them, and if we end up getting controlled, this planet is going to be a minute before we I don't think we can break out of it, but it's going to be like somebody had to come by and save us. Like, like we'll have to be really like saved, because these the deal that they made with not all grays are bad. I'm not putting that out like that, putting that out there. But
Not
there's
all
a faction. Yeah. Not all of them. I'm not saying, and grays like.
Oh,
I feel I don't really like even saying that, because
at the shivers.
Because they're they have names of what they are, you know what I mean?
They do, yeah.
So it puts them in a whole class, and the motherfuckers, they all have some people that look alike. Doesn't mean that you can't just put them all together. So I don't I don't discriminate. I like I say what's up when I have my when I meditate, or if I go. If I go through like my own trance thing, and every now and then you might bump into a motherfucker, and usually they don't they don't even pay you any mind.
No, but they'll talk to you though.
Yeah, they'll talk to you. Yeah. You just gotta like tell them that keep it real, and like, hey, what's up? And they'll be like, what's going on? Just tell them you don't do that whole probe thing. You got to stand your ground. Like,
okay.
I'm not like joking. I'm not
This isn't
saying
a
this
joke.
as a joke. No, you gotta
this
like
is a
really.
handbook
You
right
really,
now.
you really gotta like stand your ground when you're out there, because if you're astral planing and shit like that, don't like let people let them manipulate you. Like they always talk about like those beings that will fuck with you while you're out there, to keep you out there longer so they can drain your energy and shit like that, or you'll come back not the same. And it's like parasitic, and
Oh,
that
God.
shit sucks.
Yeah.
So you know, you don't wanna get caught up in that. But anyway, about that, because our government made a deal with these assholes, and you know that's why people are getting snatched up. Kids are being snatched up. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not cool. You know, and it's like they're all underbidding under like, I don't know, like, you know, think that some of these people are cool, but I'll be wary of any group that comes here and they don't do the proper things. Like, people are worried about, oh, we're being invaded and this, and it's like, well, if the real ones out there, they have power, they can shut down everything here and cut off all our power and shit if they wanted to. They don't need to like do like dramatics and pume, and you know they'll just end it off quick. You know you know, but what we're under siege with is people that are attacking our free will, and so.
And that's the darker entities.
Yeah, those are like the beings that are like literally like feeding off of our shit. And, you know, they need that to survive. Besides the ones that, you know, that take that to that point and are fucking with us in the physical, and that's like a whole different conversation for another day, because you know right now we're just talking about the sense of like with objects up in the sky. You know, right now we're dealing with the truth of, and we're dealing with the truth, and this is what we're seeing here. We're dealing with the fact that what's been man-made here, you know what I mean, which they already have. They've been had the technology of anti-gravity because of them making trade and also taking advantage of inventors and people who've done righteous or try to do right out here.
Reverse engineering.
Yeah, and they reverse engineer
Spacecraft.
this shit. And they reverse engineer everything so that they can use it for their power and their benefit, you know.
So do you reckon that a lot of these sightings, because the government just released a report yesterday stating that they just, you know, there's like 200 new cases, 150 new cases since the last 6 months that are like unexplainable. Do you reckon that a lot of that is the reverse engineered craft being used right now by the government, or do you think that there really is all these sightings because they're here, like they're really here as far as like UAP and like whatever's in them, you know?
Whatever country, government, their crafts and stuff like that, you can tell, but I'm not shocked not seeing. I'm not shocked that. You know, all these countries, they all have their own reverse engineering things. So we're seeing that in real time. I mean, shit, they got jetpacks. They got shit. Motherfuckers are doing shit like that. But what we're seeing right now, and what's about to happen with our planet, is we're about to get ready to have a bump up in our consciousness. And I know it just sounds crazy. Because,
it's a good thing,
you know, they're all talking
about. But what does that mean? What is a bump up in our consciousness?
Well, you know, it's like I not too long ago they talked about like this thing came from the center of the universe, like a pulse of energy that got sent out, which is like a signal telling everything else it's affecting all of us in some way, and our planet is gonna go into situation where we go into a different dimension, and nobody really knows how that's gonna work. Like, are we really gonna? I mean, I'm not saying like people are gonna be up here flying and breathing fire and shit.
I mean, you never know. I mean, there's so many of these weird cases. Like, I just think about, you know, the child who was in the womb for whatever it was. Maybe it was like 2 years. In Africa.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so and it's like they came out, you know, super smart and whatnot, and it's like and going back to like the psychic side of this, because is it all one and the same? If we're talking about a flying craft that's making a flying craft that's making a pit stop on Earth, is that the same thing that I'm seeing when I tap in at home, and then I look on my TV and a smudge on the TV looks like a fucking alien head, and I know that's my guy, and there he is. Look at the eyes.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, and I follow this Twitter account, Sandia, like Wisdom, like they're like, the bio is preparing the world for first contact, and it's like they're already here, and you see it in the formations, and like they can just take, you know, materialize in anything. Because I put a smudge on my TV, or was it really, you know?
That almost seems coincidence. Though.
Well,
there's no such thing as coincidence.
like I said,
And then you tap in and you start to like talk to it, and it's like you start to feel warm.
I'll just be like, I'm cautious of
Yeah.
any beings just showing themselves like out the blue, because they have to respect law. There's laws out here that they have to respect. They can't just come here and just start just showing themselves, because then it's gonna it's just like old times, or this is like something that has been a mistake learned before, but I don't know, Lyrans or whatever they called. They had that situation where they were going to underdeveloped planets and giving their knowledge and their shit to people and shit, and they snuffed them out if they become negative. You feel me? So it's like, do you want, like, that's what we're dealing with here. That responsibility is under somebody. It's a responsibility, bro. You're not just gonna give us knowledge of this magnitude and expect us to come out here and just start blowing up. We got to be in check. Until we're able to understand and be like what we are. That's why we're unique in our way, because we're creators. Anybody that's able to create, that's like a plus.
Yeah, and I think humans are alchemists. I think cooking is alchemy. I think when you make music, Rick Rubin was just saying recently, like, it's something else that takes over when you're doing it, or whenever you're doing any art form, writing or taking pictures or growing, agriculture, like. Everything is alchemy, because when you're creating something out of the nothing, it's like we are very powerful, and they do want us to not know that we're very powerful beings.
Okay, we had a brief break. We're back. We were talking about UFOs. UAP,
as they're now called.
It's funny because I was like trying to look up like UAP, and it doesn't register.
Really? It should.
Yeah. It immediately just goes to like UFOs, which like
people love that. I like how UFO sounds. Like, it sounds way more like mystical.
They're just like I said, it's all different terms to hide away from what people are trying to put define what they're seeing. Like.
Yeah, of course. You have to give it something.
Yeah, you got to give it something, like some description,
Different names: Foo Fighters, Flying Saucers. Fucking. Now it's like.
Now it's like, yeah. Now
we don't know.
Yeah, like we're like in a situation right now where
like it could be anything.
Yeah, there was a movie that came out, like something about Look Up or whatever.
Don't Look Up.
Yeah, Don't Look Up. Yeah,
that was pretty good.
And the funny
ending of the film.
Yeah, and the funny billionaire is like, his shit didn't even work properly, and everybody.
Right. That was a good film.
Yeah, it was.
So was Nope, like we were saying earlier. Like,
and it's crazy. Oh, over here just smashing food.
Dude, we're rolling. Dude, what do you think about clouds as cover up for craft? Are they craft? What have you seen? I see a lot of kind of stuff in the clouds where they look the same. Like, it's too much of a replica.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
They're always triangles. Some of these have hard lines. Some of these clouds out here have a hard line.
What are you saying?
Clouds?
So you're saying that clouds are, like
a camouflage?
Yeah. Camouflage, veil.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's some that do that, but I mean, shit, they don't have... they can just go invisible. Like they don't. I
Yeah.
mean, you know what I mean?
They
Like,
don't need it.
Most of them have cloaking.
I mean, they're obviously so fast too. So
Yeah.
what's the point?
Yeah, and then we have to break down, from the man-made ships to the real UFOs or ships that are
The
here in the
organism.
physical. Yeah, that are here on the physical that is coming from other places,
Mm-hmm.
and then we also got to look at the ones that are here in a certain spectrum. That what I mean, like you see, like the ships that have flashing lights and stuff like that.
Mm.
They will come in a sense in consciousness. So that's kind of like
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear about like the mothership being like, maybe just a black ball and then like or a whatever thing, saucer, and then it releases maybe 3 balls of light that go in a triangle formation. People will see both things during
Sure.
sightings. First they'll see the mothership, then it disappears right away, and then they see the 3 balls.
Oh, like
Like-
things like that. Well, usually if you see any ship like that given out, those are probably like drones.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because
A lot of drones
a real
out here.
mothership, motherships can be just as big as a planet. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like if you
That's why I look at some of
Excuse
the
me.
clouds. No, it's all good. Some of the clouds that like they're huge, but I'm like, but then I see UFOs and you think they're kind of small when you look at them because they're buzzing around and whatnot. So it's like the size comparison to me is like something could be that, but something could also be right in my face too.
well, small ships like I don't know. I see like good examples like people like from the Pleiades. You know what I mean? Or like we talk about like how you said like Nordics or like them people they have like that's like their ships. They only have like maybe enough room for like maybe like 3-5 people if not. It's like a singular.
Yeah,
Shit.
and what's it? As far as Roswell, 1947, it's the other book that I got from the library. But Bob Lazar, who worked at Area 51, reverse engineering, recovered craft, allegedly, and he claims, I'm pretty sure you can fact check this, that when he saw it in the ship, like, seemed to be like a chair that was, kind of a smaller chair than what a human chair would be, and then that kind of fits like, some of these beings are like 3 foot. He never saw any actual like bodies, is what he claims. But he was like, well, it makes you wonder who was sitting in that chair of the craft.
It was like the movie Independence Day, which
I have to fucking
again,
watch that. There's a lot of stuff I have to watch, right?
Independence Day, which is a funny story about those that look for them aliens and stuff. I don't know if you
Well, Will
people
Smith,
find
right?
the story. Yeah, that was with Will Smith.
And he's kind of tapped into like not being normal, right? Like he's
they all do seem like they all do like occult science in general. Type of like movies, but either way, back onto the subject with that those aliens that are on Independence Day. There was, I think it was like 1708 or maybe earlier than that, in the Middle East, which is not really, you say Persia or whatever. There was they talk about the jinns and
Jinns.
the jinns, like genies and stuff like that.
Well, jinns are like jinns are like genies, except they're a genie. Like when they grant you a wish, more or less, like that wish will like become reality. Whereas a jinn, there's always a consequence to.
Yeah. So but they, the origin of them kind of comes from the same thing. They. So it's a fucked up story about. They had that design for the aliens and shit. So supposedly, there was these beings that came from a different, like, dimension, and when they got here, they were encountered by like some people from in the middle. They encountered this thing. And it was just killing them, all of them. But it died, or like it was having complications existing in our atmosphere or something. So I don't know. Maybe the battle with them caused like an issue, or it was just our atmosphere that it just didn't have the proper gear here. Either way, it hightailed it back to where it came from. But you know, that's kind of like one of the stories of how they got the jinn and all that shit like that.
Okay.
Because they technically were extraterrestrials or whatever that were here, and you know, like I said, there was some that were good, some were bad, and just fuck, you know. But they took that look of that creature that was written, and they put that motherfucker into that movie. That's where they got the
Aladdin.
No, into Independence Day.
Oh,
Those aliens.
Day. Okay.
Yeah, those aliens in that movie was based off of that jinn from back in time.
Now I have the backstory. Now I can watch it.
Oh yeah, well I mean yeah, you check it out. It's like you know, just like Men in Black, they had the same thing.
See, he's all in these kind of movies. This Will Smith.
Yeah.
You know, he was in this commercial, I think, for Hulu maybe when they were running these ads with like Alec Baldwin, where they're like, Hulu, it's owned by reptiles that want to take over your brain. Yeah. And they just like wink like. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, we're at the point right now. They'll tell us everything. They tell the truth. They tell us everything they're about to do.
Yeah,
before
right.
they do it to us. So, you know, I don't think too heavy and literal on it. You know, as long as they ain't walking up to you and
getting in your face.
Yeah, stopping you, your free will or whatever. Then it's cool because it's you know, besides the flack that they get. You know, they're actually intelligent. You know, they're intelligent beings too. It's just
I guess
you know. You're
talking about reptiles.
Oh yeah, I guess whatever they want to talk about those from the Draconis or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right,
you know, they always talk about draconian laws. You know, it's kind of like a funny thing that comes from them people. But you know, at some point when they were here. You know, a lot of crazy shit was going on. You know, people sacrificing and doing shit like that. And, trying to like appease them because they consider them as like gods or something. But in reality, they're just people with technology and shit, and they just look a little different.
So I wanted to ask you like about your take on evolution and like, do you think that there are future humans walking Earth today?
You're talking about people from the future?
People from the future, yeah, walking Earth today. What do you think about it?
Well, I've heard that time travel is not really something that's frowned upon to do because if you can go and check out shit, but you're not supposed to really cause a fracture in time or something like that. You're not supposed to interfere, even though you know that if you did this. Positive, you say a positive thing, but you know it might cause it's that butterfly effect.
That butterfly effect, yeah, that's classic. I mean, a lot of these movies are based on real shit.
So yeah, I mean, right now our technology is at the point where I can say that hell yeah, we got cyborgs. I mean, shit, you know,
right.
And you know, I wouldn't say like, I mean, we're working on the Android thing, but I'll be kind of worried about. Shit, you can look that up. You should look that up too when you get a chance. About what happened in I don't know if it was Japan or it was China, but this goddamn AI got rogued. I think it was Japan. They got rogued and it was making metal bullets and fucking killing people in the facility and shit.
Jesus Christ!
Like yo, that shit that happened like a couple years ago. You know what I mean? Like it was building itself and shit. Like, oh my gosh, like that. It was a crazy story, bro.
Like, fuck.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because the same time that we were talking about that, we were talking about how they have automatic turrets now. You know, because they have tell your friend or foe tags and shit like that. So
what is that? Tell your friend or foe.
No, like the AI is smart enough to tell that these are our people. You know what I mean? Yeah. But there's always error. You know what I mean?
Did you find that one, Ben?
I mean, I found.
Look up rogue AI making metal bullets in a facility.
This conspiracy theory about AI robots killing 29 Japanese scientists.
Yep, that shit happened, bro.
And let's remember
that shit fucking happened.
Let's remember who invented the term conspiracy theorist, right?
Yeah.
The CIA after they killed JFK.
Yeah, the same. Yeah, well, I mean, JFK got killed because. He said a lot of things that he wasn't supposed to say.
He was for the people, is my understanding.
Oh yeah, he was for the people. I mean, after when you say that, hey, I'm gonna fight against secret societies, and the secret societies are the people that are at your party. You know what I mean? I think everybody's really trying not to fuck with you at that point. You know what I mean?
Leave a comment if you know how it goes as far as the hierarchy of power. So if you can break it down, so there's working class, politicians, and then above politicians there's even more powerful people, billionaires. And then above billionaires, there's even more powerful people.
Yeah, it's like, you gotta remember, like, there's these rich different families out here that's running game, you know. Like,
you've heard the names.
Yeah, like, I know one of them is in China's Lee.
Oh, okay.
And then, you
Rothschild.
And then we got the Bushes, we got the Koch brothers and shit like that. You know, you gotta like, and then, you know, we got people that are over in the Middle East, like people in Qatar, Yemen, and shit like that. People that all got money in America, and just in general of this world. You know, these people own the world. A lot of them are, they're not, you know, they're not really sound. I mean, it's not their fault. It's just the world that they were brought up in. They think they're heroes, and you know, but they're not really like smelling the roses. You know what I mean? Not really looking around in their garden, seeing that everything's dying because of their negligence. If you know, if this place was really based off of like money and all that stuff like that, and you know, it's like, oh well, why don't these people like help out with this money and stuff like that? Because I know hands down, like, there's many reasons why they don't want to. Either they don't give a fuck, or they've been told not to do this. You know what I mean? Because you know, there's that dude named Jim Mars, and this is some truth. And he said this shit. It's real. Like, all this is like this for a reason, because somebody wants it like this. Like, they want this to be like this. We're all fucking paying bills and, you know, like having to survive for our ends meet. You know, these grocery stores end up getting fucked up. What we're gonna do for food? Like, not everybody out here knows how to fucking garden or take care of themselves. So
that's true.
Yeah, we're kind of in a fucked up situation right now. You know what I mean?
I definitely want. You know, I think that's what a lot of us, you know, kind of want. You know, is to be able to have a farm, like.
Well, just to be able to just chill.
All you need is, you don't need that much space, but like having some property, like, you know, if
it's nice. It's nice. It's like a good getaway from all the shit that's out the doors. But
the cities are crazy. And then I've been hearing about the World Economic Forum's 15-minute city like plans. I don't know if you heard about this. Like, they want everything to be 15 minutes away, your work to be no further than 15 minutes from your home.
Well, that's like what New York does, like, exponentially well. It's like it's a 10-minute rule, I think. It's like 10-15 minutes.
Okay.
But it's like no matter in what direction you go, you can get everything you possibly need within walking distance.
Well,
which is like impossible to do in the United States as a whole.
Yes, I don't know, like, because there's so much land. You know, it seems like there's a lot of land, but I don't know, you know.
Well, I know that they're crazy to say that, you know, there's.
I don't know.
You know, they're crazy to say, not say they like, what do you call them? Not evangelicals, but what are they called?
Trailer? No.
No, they're eugenicists. Yeah, eugenicists. I don't know if you guys know
Eugenics?
about.
No.
Yeah, they're like people that believe, like Bill Gates. He's one of them.
Oh right, we love Bill Gates on the Almost Spicy podcast.
Yeah. You know they. Which, you know, I don't know if you guys heard about the headstone being destroyed down in Georgia.
Yes, of course.
Yes. You know, and when you watch the video of it, it looked like
the explosion.
Yeah, the explosion. That shit looked like it's honestly somebody psychic or something like that did that shit. And, you know,
it's crazy. Yeah,
it's not like a bomb or nothing. No, I think that was like somebody with, you know, here on this planet.
Yeah.
That are opposition against them. You feel me?
That's gnarly.
And that's cool.
I mean, that's Yeah,
I'm not saying that people should have their hopes up for all that jazz, because you know,
it could have been anything.
It could have been anything else.
But it didn't look like there was any kind of like, you know, bomb on the exterior.
Oh no, hell, that's why I said it was like somebody psychic or something did that, because that was straight energy.
That was straight energy.
Yeah, they just destroyed that shit, you know, because their rule, like, who wants to live under a rule like that? well, we want to have 500 million people still living here, and then plus them ruling us. Like, what the fuck? Like it's just not.
They want the cake and they want to eat it too.
Yeah, no, the world doesn't work that way. You know, I tell everybody to say fuck that. Just fight these assholes.
Fight, man. We have to. The reason we're doing this conversation is to talk about what might not get talked about always. Just like what somebody might call you crazy for talking about. Like we were discussing that, but we're hopefully backing anything that we're saying with the confidence, of like what we're talking about.
Besides people like going through their own personal experiences and shit like that, that's what I'm saying. Like all I need is like maybe like 2 minutes. So I gotta say this again. We are under siege on this planet. I'm not saying that like
for the people in the back.
Yeah. For everybody to understand, like, I think when you get a chance to just sit and just get a moment of time just to sit and just chill, you know what I mean? I'm not saying you have to get into a pose to meditate or do whatever, but get that time just to be able to like sit and chill,
I agree, man. Even 10 minutes has done wonders personally, man. Like, and in a day.
You might be able to seek answers that you're looking for, or
questions you didn't know you had.
Yeah, and it'll help take off the mental stress of just everything that's happening out here.
And the phones are too much sometimes too. You gotta step away, and that's what that helps with.
Yeah. Like
screen time and shit.
Like I suggest, like go to a room, get yourself an hour, keep all your electronics away, and just sit in there for a moment so you can like recollect yourself, because again, like we're having this battle here, and it's looking very funny. I do like the fact that like everybody's taking a look, like, oh shit, what the hell's going on here? Like everybody's what's going on, but they tell us what they're going to do. So it's foolish for us to be like, oh shit, what's happening here, when they're doing it right in front of us, and you know what I mean? It's
they make
crazy.
it hard. I mean, with the system, and we talked about it, like,
everything's built up for all of us to fight against each other and shit, and this.
Fuck the system, as always. Fucking, 5-day work week, like the weekend of the deal. You got the weekend. You get 2 days. It's like with these 40 hours, and it's tough. I have rapid fire news stories. Maybe we'll say them. Maybe we'll say if they're just a distraction from what's really going on. Ready, set, go. Bella Porch. Porch? Yeah, Bella Porch.
Yeah.
You know who this is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's like a TikTok, so I'm already getting it's a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
But she got married, no prenup. Crazy. She lost all her money half of her money, $6 million to the spouse. So that's just a small story.
Funny.
Yeah,
that's funny.
It's kind of a distraction, I think, that one.
That's pretty nuts, though.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's part of the game.
She was in the military too, so like that's like some. That like before she like blew up, like she was like National Guard Army, some shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
That's just shit. Now she got cut half that check to homie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, just what is.
And she was cheating, and she was with who's she with? I didn't write that part of the story. I was like, I'll just know. But she was with. Can you look it up?
Yeah, because that's just like the same thing that Gabrielle Union was talking about. Like the whole time she was like, she was cheating on her man the whole time because she made more money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
in California, you got to give half if you didn't get a prenup. So like,
hey, that's heavy.
But she was a TikToker, and then she got into the music industry, and it's just like, I don't know. She always seemed fake, like an AI kind of vibe. Like,
oh damn.
To me, I don't know. She was with Tyga.
Oh, she was with Tyga.
Yeah, dude. Right. And I feel like Tyga's that way into the industry, like the way he was with Kylie so early, like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, shit. Man.
We don't have to get into the entertainment side of the. Well, we can, but this is we found out this is an entertainment show. That's why we're wearing suits. We're trying to be
entertainers.
Entertainers, like we're some kind of magicians or something. Stream my new song, please. Sorry, sometimes get a little bit. Please stream my new song. Okay, we'll move on from Bella Porch on to the Biden documents. What about the Trump documents? Why do they have the documents? Does it matter? Classified documents.
All right, cool. We gotta say this. It's funny. All that shit happened to Trump, and then now Biden got it, and everybody's taking it a different way. And
Yeah.
I just look at it like this, man. Like, look, they're both dirty people. You
They
know
are.
what I mean? Like Biden, dude. He made the fucking crime bill. Like, yo, I don't understand why anybody even vote for somebody who incarcerated majority of people from hardly doing shit out here.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And
I
I get it. Like, all right, yeah, there's some people, that need to be taken up off the street. But man, that it was just a way to target people, and
Dude, this guy's a savage. Like,
yeah, and for
they're
people,
both, like you're saying, they're both savages.
and for people to even like fall for that shit, like they're foolish. You know what I mean? Like, no offense, I'm not like trying to.
No, I think there's a lot of people seeing that, and I did vote in that last election, but moving forward, I definitely want to be more a part of like an organization or a group that like together will maybe not vote for that, leading Democrat, and maybe like make a message or like make a statement by voting a certain way,
Yeah, I like hearing that better than saying I vote for lesser of the two evils.
Yeah,
You
I think
feel
it's
me?
time
Like-
that we just like actually get a lot of people together to make a statement.
I mean,
show the power.
I don't think there's ever like a point of a lesser of the two evils. It's like I don't think it's pretty equal on both ends.
Yeah,
it is
they
pretty
fucking
equal,
us
yeah.
either way. Everybody's
That's just a
getting
way to
fucked.
make you even think that there is a
let's
lesser.
be real.
Right?
It's
You're getting fucked. Either way, I'm just saying.
It's
I'm
unfortunate,
sorry.
man. Like that we're not even taught these things, but the internet taught us everything to an extent. Now that comes back to: do you think the internet is alien technology? Like David Bowie said.
Well,
You don't have to give us an answer.
I'll say this. Who I'll follow the money on that one because
Sure.
Bill Gates put his hand involved with all that shit, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really. I can say that he's probably somebody that's a little different. So I'm. It's either way. Our internet's connected in a huge way that people really don't understand. I feel that
To the bigger picture.
Oh yeah, man. I feel like other things from outside of our world is tapping into our internet, so they're able to get all the feed onto us, because it's just data. Data is just being shot out, and we are in a simulation of ones and zeros and shit.
Literally the ones and zeros.
So I don't think it will be that hard for a civilization to just crack our computer shit. Like, you know what I mean? That's they're like, oh shit, a virus. Like we can hack them. They did the same thing in Independence Day. Like,
I bring this up
that's
with
crazy.
most of our guests, I think, about the ones and zeros, yes, and the goddamn. I'm losing it because of this.
Oh yeah.
No, the one. Dude, you were just saying it though.
With the whole with like the grades and stuff, or like
No, just now.
Oh, just talking about
What were you just saying?
You talking about like
what are you talking about? The ones and zeros?
Zeros? Yeah, that's well the simulation.
Computer,
Yeah.
internet. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What I tell everybody, I'm having a Biden moment because I got the suit on. Fuck, please God no, don't, please, no dementia. So like, I lost it again.
Oh yeah, we're talking about like the simulation, how we're talking about that.
The simulation.
Yeah.
Tell me why in the last 200 years we went from 1 billion people to 8 billion people, right? That happened in the last 200 years. We also got internet in the last 200 years. I don't know if it's somehow related. It was exponential growth. I know.
Yeah,
now everybody in the comments I know what it was, but like that must have been some kind of trigger. But is it not? Is that just it just seems like a lot in perspective, but I don't know. You were talking about 8 80 billion people.
Oh yeah, there was 88 billion people
88
on this
billion.
planet at one point, but
So
that was during the
8
time.
billion, maybe not even is that much.
how?
right?
88 billion?
Yeah, that was during the time when
How
before
is that possible though?
because our again our planet is huge, and during that time when Antarctica wasn't frozen, that was a continent too. You feel
Yeah.
me? So those people living there, those people live in Australia.
Have you
living
seen in
and
caves, like the formations in caves? Like that's just from that ice age. Like we were just looking at caves and we were talking about caves.
They already done broke through that ice down in Antarctica. They found a lot of the old technology that was there. Those buildings,
Pyramids.
yeah,
in
and pyramids,
Antarctica.
yeah, and that were crested with jewels. You know what I mean? And you can see like they removed. I know that they removed. You probably can still find it online, but they removed photos of it because they didn't want people to really be seeing like this shining, metallic structure coming out the ground. So, you know what I mean? If you try to go to Google Earth and try to look at it, it's like, they'll put some kind of like weird shit to like block. Yeah, they'll put in a different square of something else or whatever to block it. But it's real, man. Like all the shit that they found out there in Antarctica is pretty dope.
Yeah, and I hate that it's like so gatekept to an extent. Did you hear this story about Russian officials putting out the story that the United States is using psychic attacks on their personnel with machinery that expels psychic energy flow as an attack on their soldiers to make them have psychological warfare, basically?
Well, whatever's being done, I know that it's hard to believe for us to even be saying we're having a negative thing with Russia, where we literally we're like hand in hand with them, with some shit. So I say this like psychic attacks. I can feel that's happening. That can happen, but as a country doing it to another country, I don't know if I wouldn't think that will be occurring like what you think it is.
Okay.
And if even if they do have proof of that, it will be something that I think that's like considered hush hush.
Yeah.
They can claim it and say that, but it makes them look crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Unless they were telling the truth.
Even if they're telling the truth, the majority won't believe it. But I can see
But
like
they might. Do you believe it?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, if you understand how to, like I said, you got. That's why I say the same thing. Meditate. Get to know yourself. You might be able to do some things that other people can't do.
Yeah.
And with that situation,
or maybe that everybody can do, but not everybody is doing. Perhaps, right?
Yeah, not everybody's like got their potential unlocked, and it's not like it's a big deal if they have it unlocked or not. Anyway, we're all here living this experience. We're all here just trying to. We all can't. Well, at least. It's not like this is how I follow with it, but we all came here to experience this world or this living experience to go back to, affect our consciousness, whatever that we're going back to when we die. This planet is heavy. You deal with a lot of pain and sorrow on this planet, but you also deal with like positive things too. So
and then everything always comes back to balance, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's a balance to things. Even when there was a lot of wrong being done, there's still shit will occur. Like the scale will still tip back up to.
It really does, man. It really does. Wow, we covered a lot today.
So here's a question then. So you believe a lot of this stuff. What don't you believe? What is something that is out there that just you don't particularly believe in?
As far as like a theory?
No, just overarching.
Darwinism, I don't anything that those eugenicists, I don't believe in what they're saying. They're like trying to be like Thanos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's like
they're trying to be God, right?
Yeah, they're trying to they're fucking with our food. They're fucking with our.
Bill Gates I mean, how many times did he go to Epstein's Island? Like, what about Epstein as a player? Is that just like the sex trafficking kind of stuff? Like, you think that's just like part of the darkness of all this kind of stuff?
Well, what's happening on? There's a lot of heavy shit happening on this planet, and let's be real with that shit right here. I remember in school at a young age us teaching us about Julius Caesar, and how this man spent time living at this place with one of those politic people until he get a certain age, and then he killed off that man to take his power. So, they talked about some fucked up things that were going on there, and we were kids reading about this. What's like, just like I talked about, it's like, I have to give a pause for that. But now when we come around what's happening with the trafficking and all the shit that happens on this planet as is, got to remember that we have fiendish beings here, and they feed off of the fear and they're into that. I mean, why else do they promote violence and shit on TV, or they keep that
media too, right? Music.
Yeah, they keep that shit high because they know that if they keep our minds focus on all this bullshit and keep our minds on this low level shit, we will never get to the point where we need to be at.
Yeah, dude, and that Call of Duty was ruined to me because of the fact that it's funded by the CIA and efforts for enlisting efforts for the youth. So it's like it's just and then I was just told this that the newest Call of Duty has atrocities caused by the United States, but they blame them on Russians in the video game. So it's literally it's happening in front of us, the whitewashing of history, and it just happens every day. And has it always been happening? And people argue about the history books in the schools, and
well, I mean, that's just it's just the game of what it is here. I mean, shit. Look at it like this. They got to the point of making everything a conspiracy. Even art. The shit happened here in the Americas. Everything's all fucked up. Everything's all hidden from people. And when people finally take a look at what's really happening, the shit, it just pisses you off. Because it's no, it's just the truth. All this people, all this shit to come to this point, and it still ain't enough. You know what I mean? And they're worried about their rule being taken over and not toppled over or whatever. But it's just fuck. These are the same people who believe that they are heroes, but they will also feed us poisonous candy and tell us to eat this shit because it's right for you. And it's just it's fucked up out here, man.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten into the Federal Reserve we love to do on this show.
Talk about Monsanto, all them people.
We could go on for another 3 hours at this rate, honestly, with the amount that we've covered. I don't know how far in right now we are. We probably did another 30.
We're past.
Yeah, we're past the hour.
Oh, really? Off this? Oh, total.
No, total.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. I think we covered a lot, and I like that message that you were really trying to deliver.
Yeah, we're under fucking siege.
We're under siege.
We're under fucking siege. Everybody, we need to come together and throw out positivity to get this negative energy off of our planet, so that we can all prosper and go into a higher consciousness and become more loving and positive in general. But right now, we are under siege. We got parasitic beings that are here that are absorbing all of our negativity. They feed off of this shit. And the only way you can fight these assholes is if you have not only that you gotta find really what that meaning of what love is. It's not just an obsessive or something that you're just doing for that mate. Once when you meditate, find within yourself, motherfuckers might even come and aid you and talk to you and you'll see a lot more change happening in your life.
Consciousness is a beautiful thing, and it's hard, with the amount of distraction that is out here, the amount of drugs, stimulants in all forms, from different, social media and foods and, addictive salts. So thank you, Kenny, for coming on here, man. And really,
I appreciate it.
Breaking this down, man.
Yeah, anytime.
For the people, man.
I'm definitely down if you guys have me come back. We'll definitely keep the you know, I know we kind of went pretty broad with it, but
Yeah, no, we got
You know,
into some stuff.
I'm down to talk about like, you know, the beings that are out here, like the Syrians and the Pleiadians and the, you know, Andromedans. You know, like all the, you know, they're all, you know, not all of them are shitty. You know, even the whole
True.
Dracons and shit. Like they're not bad. Not all of them are bad. It's just, but you know, there's just people out here that have some issues, and some of the issues make them believe that they're thinking that they're better than others. And
So ego kind of maybe can transcend, or self-righteousness.
sometimes I think it just goes beyond ego. Can't they just be assholes just cause, like, you know, that's just what they choose to do, like, cause they believe that, you know, they feel that that's in their righteous, that, you know, they feel right, cause that's in their right to do. You know what I mean? We're dealing with people like that, and one day, you know, our moment of truth will come, and at that point, you know, I'm rooting for this planet to be vibrating on a positive note. I mean, it don't really seem like it really don't need to be that much of us to actually come together and throw that energy to kick this type of vibration off this planet. But you know, that's like a lot of people that just need to like sit and, you know, how you gonna find somebody, like, you know, it's like I feel like I'm an anomaly because it's just like you don't fucking like talk to people about this every day. Like I you know, I can't.
Yeah, I guess
you
not,
know,
right?
yeah, you can't really like just talk with people about this because they'll be like, oh, whatever, I don't want to hear about this shit, or you sound crazy, or they'll be willing to put pills down your throat at some point because of, you know, just to keep you from whatever. And that shit's that shit's heavy. So, you know, I would, like I said, I'm looking forward to, even with this year, you know, like I said, I'm down to come back and
hell yeah.
and we can talk about like all this shit, you know what I mean? And you know, and then people can
There's a lot.
people can look
We can
up
get
the shit
specific.
themselves.
Yeah, no, we can get specific. We did get specific, frankly. It was a great time, man.
Yeah. Like I said, another time, you know, you guys just let me know, because I think if I do end up coming back or whatever, I think we'll just we can talk about like what happened with Moo, or we can talk about, you know, I really want to get the shit done with talking about, you know, the fuckers that are like fucking with our planet. You know what I mean? If people got an understanding of like who they are, you know, and I'll share this. I'll leave off with this because there was this. This was like during when YouTube was just starting and shit, and I forgot the comedian group. But if you look up something called Alien Prank Gone Wrong. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but it was like a group of homies. They all work, you know, they comedians and shit, and it was about like they were teasing their friend who was afraid of aliens and shit like that, and the concept of it. And the third joke that they did, and it was like they try to, you know, thunderstorm or whatever. They try to make it seem like it's real, but like. They had like a doll of a gray or something, and their homies was like, yo, the friend they kept scaring was like, oh man, this shit's not a joke anymore, and everybody's just like, what the fuck, like this shit's real. And they ran out the house, they left him in there with the alien in there. Homie fought the fucking thing, and he got a scratch on him and everything, and he shot the fucking thing, you know what I mean? So he shot it. Yeah, he shot the alien, which, you know, it's like it was funny, but
it wasn't a person in it or anything.
No, it was like a real like doll thing, or he started punching.
Threw it on him. And
some shit like that.
Okay, that's fucking crazy.
But
shot it.
You know, that's the thing. Like that's why I find it like the humor that I found in that, it was like whatever. But I actually had motherfuckers come down. You know what I mean? I was sleeping in my fucking room, and like it was summer. It was summer of that time, and I was like at least like 13, maybe 14 years old. Okay. But you know, internet, everything's just getting what it is. YouTube popping, you feel me, and shit like that. And literally, I looked outside. You know, like the amber color light that you used to see the old lights, street lights and shit.
Right.
I'm hearing the kids out, and you know, it was like 9 o'clock at night. So, you know, everybody's still outside playing around because it's like a hot summer night.
Okay.
Everything got silent, and I knew something was wrong because I couldn't move. And but I was, you know, maybe I'm just weird, but I projected myself out so I can see what was going on around me. And literally a motherfucker just showed up on the side like, look, we're not all like that. He just did all that. Like, I understand why they purposely, you know, maybe, you know, held me down because they didn't know if I was going to be violent towards them and
they
shit.
Don't know, because they've been shot at before, like you just said. Like in
Motherfuckers.
Prank, but like the United States and
they
Russia
don't
have shot down UFO before.
Yeah, they don't.
Like,
They you know, if they stay long enough and they show a blip, they'll send shit. You know, they'll send planes. You know, and people won't really know what's going on. You just hear just noise and shit. But no, they don't play. Like, they got rail guns that shoot ships up the sky, and they salvage them, and they fucking take their technology. But we can go. We'll go on to that another time. But that was like one of my
your experience.
Oh yeah,
you were in your room.
Oh man, I was in my fucking room. I was just laying there chilling.
There's an amber kind of color, you said?
Well, yeah, out the window because it's from the light, and that's just normal. But everything after that, everything got quiet.
Quiet.
You feel me? And and then the room got bright with that amber color light. It was like
brighter than it was.
Yeah, and it was like amber color.
And you check your peripheral.
I wasn't able to move, but I was able to like see this motherfucking thing standing on the side of the bed, side of my bed. Well, yeah, dude, it was just like, yo, we're not all bad like this.
You see that a fucking thing was like, hey, we're not all bad, and it was just gone.
Mm-hmm. And it was gone. Like, well, after it was weird how I seen the whole physical form, the physical form of this.
Tall.
I'll say it was like maybe like 4, maybe a little taller than that. Just you know, but I'm just saying, like, bro, like that was like, oh shit. And they, you know, because I guess I didn't, you know, maybe my connection spiritually to how this world is and shit, they, you know, motherfucker came down, had to be like, hey, we're not all bad like that. We have, you know, we have some rogue ones, and I'm young, you know what I mean? I'm not in my 20s when I'm being told this, you feel me? So it's just like, damn, you know, this is like
you haven't had too much already in your life, like, presented to you to skew your opinion at that point, like.
No, I don't. I think, you know, and I don't blame them because it's like maybe when I got older and just like how I understand now, like, all right, well, yeah, there's factions. There's some that are good, some that are bad, but that right there, literally, I don't blame them. The motherfucker was literally just saying, hey, man, we're not all bad people like that. Maybe they felt that because they didn't want none of their motherfucker, you know, they didn't want the backlash coming onto them. You know?
They knew you could handle hearing it. Maybe, you know, it's nice to think.
But it wasn't to the point where they didn't. You know, I wasn't able to be moving freely of my, you know, free will moving. But I don't, like, again, I don't blame them because, you know, you don't know, people are gonna be violent when you see. I mean, shit,
dude,
you'll freak the fuck out too if like.
Man, what would you do? What would you do? Or like, what will you do when you see something? When you see an alien, what are you gonna do?
See an alien?
Yeah.
I mean, there's not really much you can do. It's kind of just like accepting the fact.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually, you know, just.
But like, you will be held down. You could be held down.
Well, yeah. If they feel you're a threat, well, you know, or God forbid, if you feel like if you feel negative energy, I wouldn't go over
even
there.
Approach it actually.
Yeah, because they know like. If you want to go over there and find out, you're going to find out. That's just what it is, man. You don't...
Fuck around and find out is interdimensional.
Oh, yeah.
All planes.
This shit's real.
We are experts in everything on the Almost Spicy podcast.
We are.
I need to take this restroom break. But thank you for tuning in. Maybe we'll see you. We will see you. We'll be back. We're always here.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm always... Like, I'll be present with the stuff, you know. I'll bring some shit. I'm definitely down to you know, I like yoga and all that shit. You got people that do yoga and all that jazz, but my main goal, especially if I come on here, is just I like being able to talk maybe hopefully bring up the consciousness of the people.
We appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
And give my insight on some things because
Honestly,
fuck all the bullshit. Like again, our planet's under siege right now, yo, and we all need to come together and be on a positive note. You know what I mean? Because if we don't, and these assholes take over this fucking planet, we are gonna be in loads of shit. And I don't feel down to seeing my loved ones suffer. I know none of us want to see any of our loved ones to suffer right now, but just keep it in mind that like if you can be positive. I'm not saying give up all your riches. I'm not saying do all that shit, but just keep yourself on a positive note. You know what I mean?
Amen.
Be positive
present
with people.
We always spread the be present message. Like enjoy this life in this current form,
Yep.
Energy never dies. When you die, like it'll just go somewhere else, like, and maybe we'll see more. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, peace.
This was Kenny.